So, good morning, students. So, today we continue the last class, and today we will be going to start the another concept which is required in physics. That is mensuration. So, what is a mensuration means? It's a branch of mathematics which develops the formulas for area, perimeter, and the surface area volume of two-dimensional or three-dimensional solid laminas. If you have a two-dimensional body, we can find the perimeter or area. If you have a three-dimensional, like example, cone, or else solid sphere, or else cylinder, these kind of bodies are there. We are going to discuss about the what area, volume, as well as surface area in this topic. Because when we are going to deal with the physics, we have different kinds of charged bodies or different kinds of moment of inertia of different shapes, and in some different cases we deal with different shapes of bodies. So if you know the information, what is the area of it, what is the volume of it, those formulas if you know well, then it is very easy for us at the time. That's why we are going to discuss this topic, subtopic in basic physics here. So that is mathematical rules. We are going to discuss this mensuration part also. What is that here is, first of all, so it is a branch of physics which develops the formula for what? Which development of formulas to measure perimeter, area, as well as what volume. So it is a branch of mathematics which develops the what formulas for perimeter, okay, area and volume of two-dimensional. Two-dimensional means like a plane, triangle. If you take two-dimensional, it comes. So a parallelogram like that is there. It is two-dimensional, and three-dimensional like solid body means sphere, triangle, cone, pyramid like that is there. It is comes under the three-dimensional solid laminas. Solid laminas. Here, what is an area? What is an area? Suppose if you take a triangle, so this is what completely we can call it as an area of this triangle. This area is nothing but we can call it as the space between the boundaries of two-dimensional shape. The space, this is the space between the boundaries of two-dimensional shape. It is the, we can write as it is the space between the boundaries of two-dimensional shapes, we can say. Two-dimensional shapes we can say. So we can usually take the area for what mainly for two-dimensional shapes, as well as we have what so next one, the perimeter. What is a perimeter in the sense? Next one is perimeter. Perimeter is nothing but the total length of the boundary, outside boundary. This is the total length. Suppose if this is a equilateral triangle is there, A, side length A and A. Total length is how much? A plus A plus A. This is the total length, we can call it as a perimeter. So total length of the boundary of two-dimensional shapes is called as the perimeter. Total length of the boundary is called as the what? Perimeter. And next, surface area. So what is the surface area? We have two kinds of surface areas. One is total surface area, another one is curved surface area. What is total surface area means? I will tell you. Here we have curved surface area is one. Curved surface area, as well as one more thing is total surface area. Total surface area. So curved surface area means, for example, if you take the cylinder, actually it is a three-dimensional lamina. Surrounding surface area is there, no? This body surrounding surface area. This is what curved surface area we can call. So the surface area of the curved part of the solid lamina, the surface area of the curved part of the solid lamina is called as the curved surface area. And when we are measuring the curved surface area, we are leaving these flat surfaces. So total surface area means curved surface area plus the surfaces which are above and below the body, means this flat surface area are there, no? Those two also if you consider it, so that is gives you the total surface area. So we can say like this, the area around the curved surface of a solid lamina, the area around the curved surface of a solid lamina is called as the curved surface area, and the curved surface area plus areas of above and below the body means the flat surface areas also consider it, that is we can call it as a total surface area we can call it. And we have one more thing, that is volume. What is the volume means? Total space inside the boundary of a three-dimensional bodies or three-dimensional shapes. So the total space between the boundaries of what? Three-dimensional shapes. So for three-dimensional shapes we have additionally the surface area or total surface area. Then what is the space enclosed by the boundaries? That is we call it as a what? Volume. For example, if you take a solid sphere, and what is the space enclosed by that solid sphere, we can call it as its volume. Okay, like that, what is the total space present in the boundary of three-dimensional shape is called as the volume. Now we will be discussing some of the formulas for different shapes of bodies here, that we are going to discuss it now. So now we are going to discuss the areas as well as the perimeters of few shapes here. So first one we are going to discuss as a rectangle. So it has a and this is breadth B. Then area of this body, area is nothing but we can write as a length into breadth. We can write as a length into breadth, that is AB. And perimeter means total length of the boundary. So the total length of the boundary is called perimeter. So perimeter means we can write as a 2A plus 2B. A, here A, 2A, and this is B, this is B, total it is 2B. So next one, parallelogram. Parallelogram means it is a quadrilateral whose parallels opposite sides are parallel to each other. Now if you taken, so this is what we can call it as a parallelogram. It is A, if it is B. See, opposite sides are parallel to each other. This is what we can call it as a parallelogram. And this is what we can write here is if you take the perpendicular distance between these two sides, that is H, then area of this parallelogram is, then area of this parallelogram, that is equal to base, this base into this height, base into height between two parallel sides, between two parallel sides, that is BH we can write, that is BH. And another one is perimeter. If you have taken perimeter, that is equal to, these are parallel sides 2A, and this is parallel sides 2B, so total it is 2A plus 2. Next, triangle. If you take the triangle, so triangle if you taken, and what one is side A, B, C, and this is the height of the triangle is H. Then this area we can write as a half base into height H. So this is we can write half base into height H. This is area equal to, we can write area of triangle half base into height H. This is half BH. And perimeter. Perimeter means the total boundary length, that is A plus B plus C. So perimeter you can write as, perimeter means you can write as A plus B plus C, the total boundary length. And the next one we can go for the trapezium or trapezoid. Trapezoid means there are two parallel sides are there here, like this is 1 B1 and this is B2, and we have this is A and this is C. On this kind of trapezoid shape is there, then this area we can write as a area equal to half the total base parallel sides, that is B1 plus B2 into, and if you taken a distance between the two parallel sides, so that is H, so half B1 plus B2 into height of this one. So this is half B1 plus B2 into H is nothing but this area of this trapezoid, and height H is that is nothing but distance between these two parallel sides. And next, perimeter means you can write as a total base length, no, that is A plus B1 plus C plus B2. So all these sides, boundary sides is nothing but the perimeter we can write. Next, we can go for the second two-dimensional. Another one is like a circle. If you taken circle, if you taken whose radius is R. Circle if you taken whose radius is R, then area of the circle means the area between the boundary, inside the boundary of this two-dimensional shape is that is nothing but area of the circle is area A equal to pi r square. Area is pi r square. And the perimeter means this complete boundary length. Boundary length is nothing but 2 pi r, and perimeter is 2 pi r, we can write. And the same way, if you take a cuboid, a rectangular solid, whatever you say. So if you take the cuboid, it is a three-dimensional body. So if you take the cuboid, a rectangular, also we can say rectangular solid. Cuboid, we can write rectangular solid. So if you taken like this, having length is L, breadth is B, height is H. Length is L, breadth is B, height is H. And in this solid body we can find the volume as well as the total surface area. This volume of this cuboid is, so volume is nothing but of this cuboid is completely the space enclosed by these boundaries. Inside, what is the how much of space is there? That is nothing but its volume. Volume is length into breadth into height. So we can write as length into breadth into height. So volume is equals to length into breadth into height, that is LBH. LBH. And total surface area. Total surface area means completely this area, like that, complete surface areas, front, back. So like that, what is the total surface areas if you want it here? Total surface area is, can write like this. Total surface area. This surface area means length into breadth. Like that, this is also be length into breadth. Like how many are there? This area we can write as a 2 times the length into breadth or not? Because this one, if you multiply, you will get this base area. This area, both are same. That's why 2 into LB, length into breadth, plus breadth into height means this area. This area also be the same. So 2 into BH plus, and the front, what is the front? Length into height or not? Length into height is front surface area. The back behind that one also area is same only. Then what we can write? 2 into length into height H. Like that, it will be gives the surface area. Next, if you want to be write like this, so next one is cuboid. Next we can go for the cylinder. And total perimeter means here 1, 2, 3, 4, 4L plus 4B plus 4H is the total perimeter it will come. But usually in 3-dimensional means we'll discuss the surface area and volume here. That's why we taken these two only. Next, cylinder, if you taken cylinder, if you take a cylinder whose radius is R and height is H, whose radius is R, height is H, then volume of it is nothing but the base area into height H, that is pi r square. H is the volume of the cylinder, you can write. Then volume of the cylinder is nothing but volume of the cylinder is that is pi r square H, you can write. And as well as here surface area in the sense here curved surface area, and these two also having surface areas. So curved surface area is, what is this? 2 pi r perimeter into height H. 2 pi r perimeter into height H. And this is circular shape. No, circular shape means what is the area of the circular shape? Pi r square. And above is 1 pi r square, below here 1 pi r square, totally 2 pi r square. Then here surface area means that is the total surface area only we are going to be taken. So surface area in the sense you can write 2 pi r into h, 2 pi r h plus above and below totally it is 2 into pi r square. Okay, this is the what area of this surface area of this cylinder. Next, if you go for the pyramid, so next one is pyramid. So the volume of this pyramid is nothing but volume of the pyramid. So we have the volume of the pyramid is like this. That is 1/3 base area into height from the base to the vertex here. 1/3 pi r square, 1/3 area of this base. This is the base. Area of the base into height h. 1/3 area of the base into height. 1/3 area of the base into height h. And surface area, if you want to find it out, surface area in the sense here base surface area and this side surface area, that side, like that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides are there now. 4 sides as well as the base side. Total surface area it will give the surface area of this pyramid. So adding the surface areas of all sides we can take it and then we can get the surface area of this pyramid. Next one, cone. So if you taken the cone like this is the base and it is the vertex here and this is the height. So from this here base to this one is center to here is height h and it is the radius is r and this side length is root over 90 degrees no here, that is r square plus h square. The same way how we taken the area of this pyramid, here the area of the cone is nothing but 1/3 base area of this cone into height h. So we can write volume V equal to 1/3 base area, that is base area is circular shape is there, that's why we are writing as pi r square into height is h. 1/3 pi r square h, base area into height h. Next, total surface area in the sense surface area of the base as well as surface area of this curved part. So surface area means we can write as a surface area of the base and as well as the curved part. Surface area of the base is pi r square and here the curved part we can write as a pi r into the here pi r square plus pi r into this distance is what? R square plus h square. Then we can write pi r square is nothing but base and this curved part is there now. This curved part area is nothing but pi this base this radius into this crossed side length. Crossed side length is how much we have? Root over r square plus h square. That's why base area plus curved surface area is pi r into root over r square plus h square. This is the what? Cone surface area. And solid sphere, if you taken solid sphere in the sense we know the general formula of it is, and many times we use in the physics here. Here solid sphere if you taken, or sphere, just you can take as a sphere. Sphere means it is a spherical ball whose radius is r if you taken. So the volume of this sphere is volume of the sphere, that is equivalent to 4 by 3 pi r cube, and its surface area is 4 pi r square. Okay, so this is about the what sphere, and these are the related formulas. We have to know it. These formulas will frequently be used in while learning some concepts in physics here. So in this again we are going to start some what the next very important concepts which is very much need is there in physics is that topic whatever you learned in lower standard also, that is trigonometry. So in this what we are going to discuss, it gives the relation between the side lengths of the triangle as well as the angles. So trig means it is a triangle, tree means it is a measure. So it is a triangle's measure, means relation between sides of the triangle as well as the angles we can use. We can measure it by using this trigonometric some rules and formulas whatever will come in this one. So before going to this topic, first of all you have to know what is an angle. So what is an angle is first you have to be understand, and what are the units we use to measure the angle, that will be discussed. Suppose if you take two intersecting lines, so this is one line I am going to take, this is one line I am going to take, and intersecting with another line is going to be taken. And between these two, this is we can call it as an angle theta. So what this is gives you means it is a measure of spread. It is a measure of spread between. It is like this is there. If it is like this is there, it makes less angle. It is like this is there more. It is like this is there more. Means what is indicates is the measure of spread between the two intersecting lines, we can say. So angle is a measure of spread. It is a measure of spread between two intersecting. It is a measure of spread between two intersecting lines. That is what we can call it as a angle. This is we can call it as a angle theta. Here an angle can be measured in the units of, the angle can be measured in the units of degree, radians and gradients. So angle can be measured in the units or degrees, radians and gradients. First of all, before going to know these degrees, units, first will be discuss one point. Suppose if you have before this degrees, we have to know what is a 90 degree. So discussing the units of it, necessary to define a right angle. Right angle means it is a 90 degree. So first we have to know the what is a right angle. What is a right angle? So right angle is also we can call it as a 90 degrees angle also. Suppose we have a line like this. Whose length is L. From this line outside we have a point P. Here we have a point P. Then if you line join it, this is O dash. This is O double dash. Here O double dash. But this is O. In these arbitrary lines we drawn from point P to the length L. So out of these, which is the smallest one, we can say here O, PO dash, PO double dash, PO if you taken. The smallest one is nothing but PO. So this is what we can write as a smallest one. The smallest distance. This smallest distance, how much of angle made with this line, that angle is called as the right angle. This smallest one, PO, what is the angle made? No, with the what line? This is called as the right angle, or else we can also call it as the angle 90 degrees. Okay, so we can say this is what we can call it as a right angle. Okay. Now I will define the degree. What is the meaning of degree? Here is, what is the degree unit? Degree unit is, so 1 degree is nothing but 1/90th part of right angle. 1/90th part of right angle. The right angle is, you can say, as a 90 degrees only. So you understand here, we have the one line. From that line outside we took a point P. Then from point P we taken the shortest line. On this shortest line we drawn from P to on this line L. Then what is the shortest line is there? No, the shortest line, how much angle makes with this line L, that is what we can call it as a right angle. So 1 degree, here we have the angle units, degrees, radians and gradients here. What is the meaning of 1 degree? So 1 degree is the 1/90th part of right angle, we can say. From this we can also write that right angle means you can write as a 90 degrees. That is, you can also write 90 degrees means this is the symbol on the top, you have to write O, that is degrees indicates. Next, as well as gradients. Gradients if you are taken, so 1 gradient is equals to 1/100th of right angle, you can say. So 1 gradient is nothing but 1 gradient is nothing but 1/100th of right angle. 1/100th of right angle. Or else 1 right angle is equals to, we can write as 100 gradients. Or else 1 right angle we can write as 100 gradients. This is usually we can write 100 in the top, we can write small g. This indicates it is in units called gradients. Like this degrees and what gradients we have. Next we are going to discuss the degrees and gradients. Next we have to discuss the units. Another unit what? Radians. Another unit is radians is what? Let us go to the discussion of the another unit radians. Before that, we can define like this. Radians. Let us consider a circular. Let us consider a circle. In this, if you take a part of the circle, that is a sector, if you taken. So part of the circle, it is a sector. And it is center O, that is radius R. and this is AB. What this is called as a arc length. This is what you can call it as a arc length, and it is radius r. So this is what we can call it as a angle theta. Then in this sector OAB, the angle theta we can write as a, in this sector, in sector OAB, so angle theta means we can write arc length by radius. Arc length by radius. Then theta is nothing but arc length is L by radius is R. Here theta is always remains constant, whether you take the larger shape of circle or a smaller shape of circle, whether it is a larger arc length or smaller larger radius, but theta is always remains constant. Okay, so this theta arc length by radius is there. Now this is what we can call it as a radian. So this L by R is in, we can take it as a units called radian. Then how can you say the angle as 1 radian means angle theta is 1 radian means if arc length L is there, no, if arc length is equals to radius R means then angle is equals to what? 1 radian, we can say. Angle is equals to the time that angle we can take it in 1 radian. So, okay. So that is we can write like this here. So if arc length equal to L is equals to radius R, if arc length is equals to L, that is radius R, then theta equal to L by R means R by R is 1, that is 1 radians you can see. Or else, if this is the starting point, now it completely rotates on complete circle. Then OA is finishes on complete circle means, so here starting point, no? At the starting point it is a completely finished on complete circle means like this. Then that arc length is nothing but what happens, that arc length is nothing but the perimeter of the circle or not. If this OA completes one rotation, the angle subtended by the complete rotation means we can write like this. The angle subtended by the complete rotation means the angle subtended by complete rotation means here if it is complete one rotation if it is taken, what is this arc length? I mean, the arc length is nothing but perimeter of the circle. Therefore, that time angle theta is arc length by radius, and complete rotation means arc length is nothing but perimeter of the circle. Arc length is perimeter by radius r. What is the perimeter then? 2 pi r. So 2 pi r by r means that is 2 pi. In what units we have? In radians. Means complete one rotation means how many radians here? Complete one rotation means the angle is nothing but 2 pi radians. So we have like this one. The relation between what? Degree, radian and gradients is, see we have one thing, 90 degree right angle is equal to what? 100 gradients, that is equal to, right angle of 90 degrees is the 1/4 of the complete circle. Then 1/4 of 2 pi means, 1/4 of 2 pi means that is equal to what? Pi by 2 radians. pi by 2 radians. Others you can also write. So right angle means so like this will come. This is equal to right angle. So right angle means 90 degrees, 100 radians, pi by 2 radians. Or else complete circle if you taken, you can write here 360 degrees, 400 radians, that is equal to 2 pi radians. So this is what complete one rotation, a complete circle we can say. So using these relations in the next class we are going to discuss the how to convert one units into another units. Okay. So that and all we will be discussing the next session. So till the extent we are continuous this, and these topics are very important for the physics everywhere in resolution concept, vectors, force cases. In many cases we are going to use this trigonometric formulas, and in calculation part also trigonometric formulas are very very important to us. So that's why this mathematical part which is going to be discussed, these are the formulas as well as angles and how we measure the angles and these related formulas and all you have to be practiced well. Okay. So any doubts are there, definitely can contact with me. So anytime you can chat and you can share your doubts, we will clarify to you. Okay. Take care. Bye.